Welcome to the Coached Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Keren. Settle in. We're about to make you feel really good. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Coached Podcast with me, Coach Keren. This season is called Coaching Masters, and it's all about integrity and excellence in teaching. We're exploring true mastery, what we teach, how we teach, and most importantly, why we teach it. Today's guest is someone who doesn't just talk about transformation. He helps people breathe their way into it. I'm thrilled to welcome my friend, Kurtis Lee Thomas, a global breathwork facilitator, corporate mindfulness speaker, and the founder of Breathwork Detox. Kurtis's work bridges ancient wisdom and modern healing, guiding thousands to release emotional blocks, access altered states, and reconnect with their life force through the breath. As Lao Tzu once said, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." I think those words remind me so much of your work. Thank you so much for being here, Kurtis. Welcome.
That was great. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
So this series is about teaching. And one of the things that I love to do is run the breadth of teaching, but also to ask how people came into their particular discipline. And in researching you, I recognized that before breathwork, there were a lot of different disciplines of the work that you were introduced to. So can you take us through the breadth of your experience and then how you ended up coming to the breath?
The breadth of my experience. I love it. Well, I'm on the journey just like everyone else is. And on that journey, there's more questions than we have answers. So I started off as a certified life coach, NLP practitioner, Reiki master, sports science fitness professional, hypnotherapist. So pretty much was collecting certifications along the way.
Yeah.
And
same here.
but then also I was suffering from a stomach condition.
Yeah.
And doctors couldn't diagnose me. They couldn't tell me what was wrong with me, never mind fix me. So it was maddening when you're going to doctors and they're telling you you're fine and you're suffering. So I started to get desperate. And out of desperation, you're willing to try new things.
Yeah.
So plant medicine, combo, I'm not sure if you know what combo is, but it's like frog venom the shaman puts in and you like
Wow.
projectile vomit. It's ridiculous.
Sounds worse than ayahuasca.
Oh yeah, it's more invasive.
Oof.
But I was desperate, so I was trying all these different things. And I had a Taoist tummy massager. It's called CNT. And she was in my belly, and she said that your wind gate is blocked. Now, your wind gate is where all the energy comes into your body and exits your body. And she's the one that put me on to breathwork. So I found this like ancient lost breathing technique that's been, modernized. And I did one session, and it completely eradicated my stomach condition.
Unbelievable.
And the thing is, like, I'm very analytical person, very logical, very skeptical. I have to see it to believe it. And it took me 3 days to wrap my head around how this one breathing technique healed me when I was going to the best doctors, East Coast, West Coast, tens of thousands in co-payments. I had insurance and nobody could fix me or heal me. And this one technique did. So it completely blew my mind because I had all these certifications, skill sets, and experiences that did nothing for me. So how am I supposed to help other people if I can't help myself? So once I was able to help myself, I'm like, this is the secret sauce.
It's unbelievable. And I have to ask you then to go just back a little bit more. What happened that brought you to NLP and to life coaching?
I think that's just like the itch.
Just a really early adopter?
Yeah, no, the itch, to want to help people. And, and I think a lot of people have that feeling. I want to help people. They don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And they don't feel like they know enough or they're good enough, and they need those pieces of paper and those certifications to feel qualified and worthy to help other people. So I think I was going through the same process of, let me learn and learn and learn until I find my thing.
You know what I love about this story? You start by wanting to help people, but you inadvertently learn how to help people when you need to help yourself and discover what works for you. And that actually also dissolves all imposter syndrome and all the need for accreditation, because why would you need anything when you already understand this works? So that's how it evolved for you, right?
Yeah, correct. And keyword need, I needed to help myself.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't go further anymore of the way I was feeling. I didn't feel comfortable in my own body. And then this is a horrible feeling.
I think Ram Dass said something like, I needed to lose myself to find myself.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful. It's very Selena Gomez, by the way. When did you realize that this breathwork thing is not just about you healing you and you becoming a disciple, but something that you'd like to teach? And then how did you codify it?
Yeah. So I started teaching breathwork, but not to training teachers. I just started doing it in LA, started doing in-person events. And then during COVID, I was forced and very reluctantly moved into virtual. And virtual exploded. So now I lead breathwork every 2 weeks virtually. And then after doing that for so long, I just realized there's so much more impact and good karma that you can get from teaching everything that you know and imparting it onto other teachers so they can go out there and crush it as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really believe in good karma and energy exchange. And for me, it was like putting money in my karmic bank account, by giving them everything that I know and watching my teachers go out there and create six-figure businesses, leading breathwork. To me, that was more gratifying than just helping one by one by one.
That's the exact opposite of the egoic stance. This is truly teaching as an act of generosity. Many people do not wish to branch out into teaching other teachers exactly because of that. You're essentially creating more competition.
That's true.
Did you struggle with that at all, or are you already super enlightened?
For like a week, I thought about it, and then actually something profound came to me, and pretty much the message was, if you believe in competition, then you believe in scarcity. And you have to know that there's enough to go around for everybody.
Amen.
There's billions of people that need help. And who does this work help? Well, first of all, anyone with a pair of lungs. Second of all, anyone that has pent up stress, accumulated stress or trauma, which is pretty much everyone. So there's no competition. I actually take pride and joy of lifting my teachers up. And when they go out there and crush it, well, then now I have another success story. So it's a win-win. It's just all mindset and how you look at it.
Absolutely true. I struggled with that myself, and you inspired me. I was listening to your episode on the Jessica Zweig podcast, and an idea came to me to create a program called Coach with Enthusiasm. It's not coach certification. It's literally teaching people how to heal themselves so they can become exceptional teachers, which is the biggest part that's missing. I have more than 26 accreditations. So at this point, I do know what accreditation covers and what it doesn't cover. And my first grapple was actually, first I was surprised to find my ego again. I'm always surprised to find him again because I always think I got him, and I never got him. But it came up first in, what if you're coaching bad actors? What if these are people who are not of good faith? Because I've been copied, like I'm sure you have as well, et cetera, et cetera. Then I got over that by thinking the Louise Hay thought of, well, no, we're not going to believe that. And just because of a couple of bad actors, we're just going to move through that and really assume that most people are fantastic and wonderful and worthy. And the second thing came up was exactly that. Are you creating your own competition? And that's exactly the transformation. I don't know if it took me a week, man. I'm going to be honest with you. It might have taken me a little longer than that. But I was like, you know what? What if we're really, really creating the healing that the world needs? And what if that's the responsibility?
I mean, that's it. When you realize that what you're doing is bigger than you, just put yourself aside.
Exactly. You're going to die one day. Exactly.
Your heart's going to start beating one day.
Yeah.
And all your fears and all your worries that you ever had that, it's been proven 85% don't come true. It's pointless.
It's completely pointless. Just do what you came here to do. So what are the mechanics for the novices among us, by the way, among them myself? What does breathwork do, and how does it actually work?
So first of all, breathwork is an umbrella term. So there's many different forms and types of breathing, just like yoga. You have this type of yoga and flow yoga and Bikram yoga, hot yoga, Kundalini yoga. There's many different types of breathwork. The one that I specialize in and teach is deep diaphragmatic. So it's the most somatic, it's the most cathartic. And that particular modality is done in through the mouth, out through the mouth. Now, 99.9% of the time, you should be breathing through your nose.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. But for this technique, you cannot achieve what you achieve in Breathwork Detox by breathing through the nose. It's impossible.
Because of the size of the nostrils?
Because of the size of the nostrils, and also the nostril and the mouth is connected to parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system. And with Breathwork Detox, we're clearing out the sympathetic nervous system is where all the junk and gunk and trauma gets caught, right? So by breathing through the mouth, it's also an energetic exodus. So if you just look at the body's natural way of releasing stress, pain, and tension, especially when it accumulates. So right here, if we were stressed out, we'd go like this, and then the body would go.
Exactly. You constrict.
And then the pressure release valve, which is the sigh of relief. The body's natural way of relieving itself of accumulated stress and tension is through the mouth. It's the sigh. It's a. So we consciously induce that in Breathwork Detox. And, we do it for a certain amount of time, and it not just clears the stress, but it starts to peel through layers of stress that you've just been collecting.
Because you're going deeper and deeper with the availability of the relief.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Wow. I totally get how that happens, and I'm looking forward to experiencing that for myself.
Yes.
I've done many, many breathwork mind workshops, and I'm going to talk to you about that because I believe many of the practitioners out there are not you. So that brings me to a difficult point. There is a lot of nonsense out there. So to you, Maestro, what's real, what's hype, and what should people know and look for?
When it comes to breathwork?
Yes.
Man, I would just say your intuition will trump my intellect. So no matter what I tell you to look for or whatever, you got to go with your intuition. You know what feels right if you're looking for a teacher. Like if you're looking to get into breathwork, you can go on YouTube and start looking through things. But at the end of the day, find a good teacher, a good mentor to show you the ropes. Once you understand it, just like anything else, then you move on and you create your own daily practice.
Yes.
It's very simple and similar.
Yes. I was talking to Danielle Laporte earlier today, and in an episode that I hope you all enjoy, about the fact that it doesn't matter if you have false teachers every once in a while because they still get you closer and closer to the work that works for you. So I don't mind checking it out on YouTube first. I just thought that there is something to be said for discernment, and like with any taste that develops, you become a much better discerner. In other words, your intuition actually does become better. For example, and this is a silly analogy, if you drink a glass of wine and you've never had wine before, you have no idea what you're drinking, you don't know if it's garbage or phenomenal. But if you've had several glasses of wine, you start to really develop a taste and understand what's garbage or les garbage and what's fabulous, right?
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same with teaching, isn't it?
Good analogy.
So your work has evolved now to the point where you teach teachers, and it was without inner conflict for more than a week. What has it done for your perspective, and what has it done for your business?
You're holding me to that week, huh?
If you don't, listen, if this guy tells us he's Eckhart, he's Eckhart.
So becoming a teacher, what has it done for me?
A teacher's teacher. What has it done, and how has it evolved, like your relationship to your business too?
Oh, as far as the business, it was a huge boom in the business because breathwork is exploding. I seen where it was going. I seen ahead of the curve. And, I remember when I was like, breathwork's going to be huge. So the term just breathe, I'm like, oh my God, just breathe. It transcends sports and mindfulness. And, so I went and acquired the trademark just breathe. And then shortly after we did an event with Nike, and then they did a whole campaign around the breath. And we had two ginormous companies who tried to acquire the mark so far. So I was like, yes, the vision's coming true. And then the Google searches have spiked 400%. So it's the next thing. And I've just positioned myself well in my business to be the one that trains these people, because it's a lot. We have nurses, we have NFL athletes, we have therapists, all types of coaches who are now realizing that they have to implement this into their practice. So for the business, it's great. For me personally, I think it goes back to what we were talking before, personal gratification to know that I'm training teachers to go out there and crush it. There's not a better feeling than that for me.
I wish you could go train the Israeli army.
I'll go.
They'll become much more
Yeah.
chill. For those who don't get that joke, I am Israeli and a pacifist. So fun little combo right there. Any advice for others who are walking on this path and in this particular sliver of the industry? By the way, was it in Beaverton, Oregon?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been there many times.
Yes.
I've enjoyed coaching Nike's
Yeah.
executives
Oh, that's
for
cool.
a long time.
Excellent. I
What
love
a
that.
trippy place that is.
Yeah, it's freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the question?
What's the advice that you have for somebody who's really interested in your particular milieu?
Yeah, I feel like so many people, let's call them the clients, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to think their way there. And conversational therapy is good, but not for the times that we're in. We're trying to coach them out of their minds, but the problem's actually in their bodies.
Yes.
Because the body is a living library of all of our traumas, experience, heartbreaks, failures. And that's why they say the issues are in the tissues. So the body's keeping
I love
score,
that.
but the conscious mind isn't. So we're holding on to so much in the body. And it doesn't matter how many podcasts they listen to or green juices that they drink or sessions that they do. If the body's holding on to something, anything, trauma, that nervous system needs to be healed in order to fully regulate your system, your nervous system, everything. So I just think it's a crucial piece for coaches or trainers who want to provide results. You know, I do yoga and meditation, but unlike yoga and meditation, the results of breathwork are immediate and undeniable from one session. And I think in today's microwave society, where clients want to see results and they want to see them unrealistically fast.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to go to the gym and get a six-pack in the morning. It doesn't work like that. So there's very few things that can give you instantaneous, undeniable results where you now become a believer.
Yeah.
And that was me when I did the breath work and I had my experience. I was like, oh, this works. And in this time that we live in where there's not enough time, there's so many things to do. And sometimes we know what to do, but we don't do what we know.
That's right.
You need to put your energy, time into things that move the needle, that actually work. And a lot of the main issue is that it's in the body, it's not in the mind. And I think when they adopt this skill set of cathartic breath work, it's just going to be the missing key, or like the linchpin that
Yes.
creates a cascade of healing and clearing.
That allows you to drop into the body. The issue is in the tissues. I really love that. And I truly agree with you. I personally came to coaching in particular because it was so much more results oriented than talk therapy, which I found to be not for most people. And I still find to be not for most people. It's useful, but not for all of us. And you're right, as I have advanced in the work, the need for words subsides. Really, you're starting to drop into the nervous system and the body.
Yeah. And then you can even be in somebody's energy. Like let's say you did the work, right? And you're healed. And you, by just being in someone else's presence, by osmosis, right, could allow their nervous system to feel calm and healed and safe enough to release and let go.
That's right.
Because everyone's trying to manifest this and relationship and love and money and all this stuff. And you don't need to do that. What we need to do is we need to first let go before we can let in. And that's why I named it Breathwork Detox, because I think Master Yoda said it, the little green guy. He's like, you must unlearn before you can learn.
Absolutely.
And Bruce Lee, you have to empty your cup before you can fill it up.
Completely.
So everyone's trying to manifest and they have a full cup.
Yeah.
You have to learn to let go, and the nervous system needs to feel safe enough to do so.
It's so true. The key to manifestation in general is surrender. And many people think that surrender means to give up desire. It is not to give up desire. It is to let go of suffering, to let go of sufferings, to let go of constriction in the body, to let go of holding on very tightly. And you're right. The most effective thing that any teacher can do, and this has come up again and again in this series, is to serve as a model of unconstriction, to literally just be around somebody who's kind of chill. And when you present them with an enormous challenge, it's kind of looking at you like, I don't see what the big deal is here.
Yeah.
That's already a very, very, very big move in the right direction, isn't it?
I concur.
What's blocking most people's breath, and what is the cost of ignoring it?
What's blocking?
Like, why is our breath so shallow? Why is it that when I say to people in the beginning of a seminar, take a deep breath in, they many times say, I didn't even realize I wasn't breathing.
Yeah. Oh my God, I say that so much.
Yeah.
And like if I have a big group, I'll say, everyone take the deepest breath you possibly can on the count of 3, and we'll see who takes the biggest, deepest breath. And I just kind of gamify it. And then they go, and they're breathing all in their chest and their clavicles, and their belly's not moving. When your belly is supposed to move when you breathe. And if you watch a dog or watch a baby breathe, when a baby breathes, when it takes the breath in, the belly moves.
Yeah, that's right. They only breathe to here.
Yeah, but our bellies don't move. And that's because all the stress and the traumas that we have accumulated over the years, it tenses our diaphragms, and we're not allowed to breathe down here. It's restricted, but then also on a subconscious level, the body holds on to the stress and the trauma and the emotions in the gut.
Yes.
So subconsciously, we're like, if we don't breathe down here, we're not going to feel the pain. But also what we're doing is preventing ourselves from feeling the joys of life, because 80% of your serotonin is produced in your gut. 80% of your immune system is produced in your gut, and 72,000 energetic channels and pathways called nadi. There's one place in the body where all the nadis intersect, and that's also in the gut.
Wow.
So 80% of your health, your happiness, and your vitality is here, and we're not breathing the most vital life force energy down here because we're all afraid.
I am a believer. And you are giving new meaning to the words yummy, yummy, yummy. I've got love in my tummy.
Yeah, I love that.
What is it that you want people to know about this, other than the fact that anyone listening to this is going to become a convert instantaneously? I mean, I've literally just become even more aware of something I already knew, which was that to neglect the breath is to neglect life force.
Yes. That's what it is. And everything's connected to everything else, right? Nothing's separate. So when you're breathing shallow, you're living a shallow life. When you're breathing deep, you're living a more deep and meaningful life, because the breath is connected to not just our mental state, but our emotional state. So being conscious of the breath and realizing that you're not breathing, that's how I got into it. And when I realized, I was holding my breath and I was clenching my fist. So I was clearly holding on to something.
Of course.
And just becoming more aware. I think that's the key.
Yeah. I think it's also about becoming more multidisciplinary. There was something you said before that alluded to this, but I've become really aware of the fact that if you're become obsessed with one type of practice, you're really incomplete. It's all sort of in cahoots with each other. The coaching, for many, the mysticism or law of attraction or spirituality, the breath work, yoga, the dropping down into the body, it's a full circle. And when it's not a full circle, it's rather incomplete, isn't it? Do you see this also as a continuum of work?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every body is different, so people need different things. But it's like keeping your mind open, because if I was closed off and if I just stuck to meditation or yoga, I would have never found breath work. So on that journey, trying to see what's best for me, you kind of collect the best of the best and, habit stack those into what works for you.
Absolutely. What works for you is really the most powerful thing. And actually the combo that works for you too
Yes.
is kind of the best thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's very useful for any teacher out there and for any listener out there who's sort of thinking, well, what is the thing? It is not such a simple answer. It's what is the thing for you?
Yes.
Yes. So now I'm going to go a little woo-woo, because I did listen to that podcast with Jess Zweig. By the way, it's called Spiritual Hustler, and I'm going to link that episode below because you got to hear this conversation. Aside from talking about aliens, which was, I guess normal, you guys talked a lot about the big changes that humanity is undergoing at the moment. Now, of course, you have to have had a lobotomy or have your head in the sand to not realize that since the beginning of 2025, dare I say since 2024, things geopolitically have been moving in a very, very fast pace, in a very wild direction. What you did say at the end of that podcast episode was, you predicted that by the end of 2026, and this is a direct quote, Crazy shit is coming and we need to be ready. Now, I want to know, what should we prepare for and what is it exactly the teachers should be ready for?
Okay, first of all, I don't know what camera we're at, but we did a whole podcast on this, so I'm going to try to summarize it into this one
And so
question.
I'm linking it.
Yeah, you did good. You did good. So, the entropy of our working systems, religious, medical, business, financial, all these systems, they need to be turned on their ear, right? And if there's not quick and swift and effective solutions that need to happen, there will be a systemic collapse. And this is going to happen. And the time period is 2025 to 2032. These systems are going to break down. It's inevitable. And what I was referring to in the podcast is, I believe, in my personal opinion, by the end of 2026, that everyone's going to realize that this is happening, or at least realize, whoa, something big is going on. And there's going to be world events that happen, some natural, some induced, that's going to open people's eyes and realize we're not living in the same world and to buckle up. Now, when I say that certain things are going to happen and systems are going to collapse, it scares people because they're like, wait, no, my normal life, and we all love our comfort zone. And what I love to refer to is the great quote by Don Alejandro, Mayan grandfather. And he said, the walls that we're about to see come crumbling and crashing down in front of us were only the walls that kept us in prison our entire lives. So this is a good thing. This is an amazing thing. This is, you can connect this to every religion that prophesies this. Religions that didn't agree on anything, that went to war and killed each other over indifferences, they're all agreeing on something right now. And that is some cosmic, worldly event, godly event is upon us. And it's all intersecting at the same point, time, and space, which is right here, right now in our lifetime.
Amazing.
And we will witness this.
We're so lucky.
We
It's
are.
a rise in consciousness then?
Oh yeah, there's another one coming within this time frame too, between 2025, 2026. The first one I think that will resonate with a lot of the listeners is 2012, there was a big one. And then 2020, there was a huge influx in consciousness. But what's coming...
It was a great year for me, 2012.
Yes. What's coming is a tsunami wave
Oof.
of consciousness and awakening that's going to hit the planet. And when that does, it's going to change everything.
Oh my. And what should we do to prepare as teachers?
Yeah. One, have conversations like this, plant the seeds. Even if somebody knows nothing about any of this stuff, the seed has been planted. Now it's up to them to water it. But, without saying, go run to Costco and stock up as if a storm was coming, which is what I've done just for the sake of my family. I would do that anyway, regardless of any of this stuff. You should already have that done. But to just be open to change, because the change that's going to happen is the change that we've all been waiting for, whether it's been unbeknownst to the conscious mind or not. We all want this, and the reason why we're all here, the real reason why we're here, because it's not to make all this money and all this success. Like, I get it, I play that game too, but when you meet your maker, and whoever you believe that is, he's not going to ask you how much money you made.
No.
That's not how it works. It's, how did you make people's lives easier? Did you do the work that I told you to do, right? How did you make the world a better place? Yes. I realized that at a younger age, not a young age, but a younger age. And that's why I aligned my entrepreneurship with something that I believe is going to help the world. Because I could be doing anything. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 16 years old. But coming into alignment and purpose and feeling purposeful, for me, that's everything.
It is amazing. And how has having a daughter changed that for you?
Oh my God, the blessing. And not just because I had a child, I had a daughter. And my daughter lived with me since she was 5 years old. So I've raised her. She just turned 18. and she just graduated high school last week.
That's amazing.
And raising, how a single man raising a little girl to become a young woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's a better experience that God can gift you with.
No, it's a big old matzo ball in the throat.
Yeah, she softened my edges.
How beautiful.
For sure.
And probably turned you even deeper towards service.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, because that's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, selfless.
So I also see these times as extraordinary. And I think that this just is a calling to deepen the work and to more deeply reflect the positivity of the work, not in a repression way, not in a spiritual bypassing way, but really in a question of how can we turn this into something that's an opportunity and help others see this, not only see this and plant the seed and say, this is happening, but we're going to usher it in and we're going to try to make it as beneficial as possible for as many people as possible. It's hard work, but
Yeah.
we're going to try.
Yeah.
It helps to not watch the news, doesn't it?
Yeah. Turn it off.
Everything is blowing up for you right now, Kurtis. What are you most excited about?
The unknown, really. Not knowing and just, being open to opportunities, connections, partnerships, the micro to the macro,
Yeah.
the small things in my daily life to the entire world can change in the blink of an eye, and, suffering will end. And, a lot of that stuff's fabricated. We don't have to suffer the way that we are. And once the world realizes and the blindfold's ripped off and the world's, suffering comes to an end, it seems crazy, like it'll never happen. But for us to witness that in our lifetimes, I mean, we can't be incarnated in a better time than now.
Yeah.
Right here, like here in the now. So for me, I'm just grateful, excited.
I love that. And the world will live as one, as John Lennon said.
Yeah.
What would you like the audience to experience? Would you like to invite them to anything? We'll, of course, post all your links below in the show notes, but you do amazing workshops. Is there anything to invite them to in particular?
Yeah. So this work, what I do, I'm never trying to convert anybody to anything. My goal on any podcast that I do is to get them curious. If I can get them curious, because I feel like curiosity is consciousness at work.
That's right.
So curiosity didn't kill the cat, ignorance did. So if I got you curious and you want to experience, some of the things we talked about, then yes, I personally lead breathwork sessions virtually every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, I'll lead a virtual event. And if they wanted to contact me, you can give them the links, but Breathwork Detox is the modality. They can go on there. They want to become a teacher, free consultation, we'll talk to them about that. Or they experience the event, they can click on virtual events. Or if they want to contact me personally, Man from the Stars on Instagram. I'm pretty decent with replying to people's messages.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. So
I've texted you many times.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So we're going to make sure that everybody is linked to this and invited to his magnificent work. Kurtis, thank you so much for being here. May your life continue to be blessed with ease.
Likewise.
Thank you, listeners. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you did love it, here's the icky sticky part. Please subscribe and review our podcast because it goes a very, very long way. I truly hope that today's session inspired you in your teaching and on your inner journey. Until next time.